Welcome to another episode of Jay Leno's Garage. You know, we've been fortunate, and a lot of automakers have been bringing their concept cars by the shop for us to take a look at and for you to look at as well. And this is the latest from Toyota. You know, I've kind of been on Toyota the last couple of years because they make, we all know the build quality. They make terrific cars, and the Camry and the Prius. But you know what, you're watching this website, you know what we need. We need something like this. You know, we all miss the Supra. We all miss the Toyota GT. And this is the FT-1. This is a fantastic looking car. Let's meet the two of the gentlemen responsible, Alex Shen and Bill Chakowski. Come on in, you guys. Now, Alex, you're the exterior designer?
Chief designer, yes.
Chief designer, okay.
Nice
and
to
Bill,
meet
you do interior?
Interior, yeah.
Okay.
I was the manager on this.
Well, nice work, gentlemen. I like this even more than the LFA. You know, the LFA I like, but to me it was a little, I think everybody's complaint was maybe it was a little generic. It didn't look supercar enough, you know, considering you had that fantastic V10 engine and whatnot. This is my favorite piece here.
Yeah.
I just love this. It's very Italian looking, yet it looks like a Japanese car, but it's designed here in America. Isn't that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
It was initiated at Kelty in Newport Beach.
Explain what Kelty is.
Kelty is an advanced design studio for Toyota, and we're
Okay.
located in Newport Beach. And this year happens to be our 40th anniversary.
Okay.
We are the first studio that opened up in Southern California, a
Oh.
satellite studio. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Now, do the big guys in Japan kind of leave you guys alone? Are you guys, the island way off there in California, just design something and come to us when you're done? Or do they give you parameters?
But in this case, we've been proposing a car like this for a few years now. And it so happens we're in a mood where we're looking for a dynamic, emotional, and an exciting design. And this time, we had the yes. It's like, yeah, please, go ahead. You guys decide what you want to do with this car.
You know, it's funny, because sometimes car companies get into this mindset, like Ford. Before they did the Ford GT, a lot of people said, no one's going to buy a $150,000 Ford, you know. But if you design something exciting that people like, there it is. I mean, Nissan with the GTR, $100,000 Nissan. That doesn't got to be crazy. Oh, wait a minute. Look how powerful and fast this is. And this could be the answer, Toyota's answer to those questions, couldn't it?
We designed it to be.
Yeah.
I think Toyota as a brand obviously are known for quality, but I think what we're lacking is obviously the emotional, you know, the kind of factor that people are looking for. And on top of that, affordability. We want this car to be affordable and obtainable by people.
This is an approachable vehicle.
Yeah, and it exists in Japan, because I was in Japan. I went to the Toyota Museum. I was honored to meet with Toyota. And I got to drive the convertible Toyota GT they used in the James Bond movie.
Oh, wow.
How cool is that?
It was so tiny. I mean, I had to sit like this. It was so tiny. You know the story, right? They cut the roof off so Sean Connery could fit in it. That's the only reason it became convertible.
Right.
But I was like driving like this. It was like crazy. But this is a full-size car. Well, let's go through this a little bit. This looks, has some Japanese in it, has some Italian. It looks like it looks like an amalgamation of sort of international designs a little bit here. It looks a little Enzo-y in the front here, and I mean that in a complimentary way.
Oh, thank you. You know, in terms of styling, obviously Toyota's a Japanese company. We're based in California, so we're going to have that kind of merge of two tastes, and we do want to make it look like a Toyota. I think what Toyota means is, you know, a certain sense of clarity.
Right.
So the surfaces are very full and very clear.
Well, I like this here, this kind of kabuki theater looking thing. It looks like, you know, it looks, you know, it's funny. When you look at my Oldsmobile Toronado, you go, I know nothing about cars. I know that's an American car. When you look at an MG, you go, well, or an Aston Martin, that can only be English, you know. Whereas this front end, it looks more Japanese than Italian. But all this here, it just looks like, you know, those masks the guys wear when they do that whole deal. I mean, that's what I kind of like. I kind of like when I see a national influence in design. Is this all, I assume this is all functional, right? Pulling the air as it comes through the brakes?
Yeah, correct. I think the intention is to make an authentic sports car, and mainly is try to show the technology or the fact that we need cooling, we need airflow. So it's airflow management. So a lot of the design is showing airflow management.
Now here's a question. This might not make any sense, but a few years ago, many years ago now, when people first started designing with computers, everything looked angular. This looked like it was designed sort of by hand, more so. Would that be fair to say? Am I
keyword probably leads to that.
Yeah, I think you touched on that exactly. I think we wanted this car to look like it was hand built.
Yeah, I mean, it has, you know, This is such a beautiful curve, and you know, if you're a regular person, not a designer, and that looks easy, try drawing that and look how awkward and ugly yours looks, because I know how mine would look. I mean, that's a real, just it has a beautiful flow to it. Is this a design that could, you know, because of safety things now, you have to be able to hit pedestrians, they got to get up laughing, and there's all these kind of rules now. I mean, is this something that could make production, a design like this, or is that just, you know, would the bean counters go too complicated, too down to, because it really makes
it's iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's possible. We have to probably add a safety release. You know, some the lamp buckets probably have to be slightly larger.
Right.
But you know, we keep that in mind that we have to show that there's potential in production. So the entire car, there's challenges ahead, obviously, if we're going to make this car, but I think it's possible.
You know, usually when I see these glass hoods in cars, I don't like them because they're usually too small, the windows too. Whereas this really encompasses, you can almost see everything in here, the struts and all. Nicely done. Tell me about that element. I suppose it looks good with the black and red. And I guess if you did go to production, this would always be black under the hood, right?
Yeah, possibly. We would like to keep the image of that as much as possible if we ever go into a production car. But I think it's just the idea of the engine is the heart and soul of the car.
Right.
And it's always the crowd drawer when the hood goes up. Everyone wants to see what that looks like. So we thought, you know, we should just show it off.
There's a little fun feature here. Just kind of, you pointed to the engine bay.
Right.
So when you look here, you see the brace. It actually protrudes through into the interior.
Oh, I see, right there. Look at that, yeah.
So we introduced this idea that, you know, sports cars are this kind of real personal, selfish purchase. So each one of these would be hand numbered, and it would have, you know, this is my car. So you could, like, somebody walks to the parking lot, they lean over and they go, hey, there's Jay's car. They recognize that.
Right, cool.
So kind of a neat way to kind of say, look, this is
I didn't realize
personal.
that went into the compartment there. Very nice. And that can meet safety issues. That's not a problem, probably, huh?
Right.
Okay. Let's come around here. Let's go around this side. And of course, this nose will be controversial. Obviously, your air intakes are each side. Are there?
Correct.
Would you envision twin radiators here? Is that what you'd have?
Yeah, for this design, we envisioned twin radiators. We wanted to get a pretty expressive face and a nose, you know, and I think that will make the car stand out in terms of image.
Great statement with the fans.
Yeah, with the lower diffuser.
You probably noticed before the rear wing was up. This is what it looks like when it's flush. Boy, it integrates nicely. You can't even tell, you know, because sometimes they hang an inch or two above. Nicely done here. Let's put the wing up. Good day, Mr. Bond. You know, I'm very impressed with these struts and how strong they look. I mean, they give a real feel of quality with it. Instead of a single support, you have a dual support here. You guys know what, there's a piston in here. Yeah, that looks, I mean, that looks like it could actually take some G-force. Because, you know, I think real car guys can tell. A lot of times you see cars and they have some stupid little thing, and you go, no, anything over 100 miles an hour, it's not going to work, it's going to break off. Whereas this has a real sense of quality, a real sense of strength to it. It really looks, high-tech, very nicely done. Yeah, that's, I like, put it down again. Let's see how nicely it integrates. Look at that. I'm trying to figure out why I like this so much. I don't know whether it's the curve or the way it matches. It doesn't stand proud. A lot of times I see rear windows and they just sit up a little bit.
You see all the seals.
Yeah, this almost looks like, if I couldn't see through it, I think it was painted on. You know, that's what I like. It has that nice, I like this curve here. Nicely done. Would this open as well?
Yeah, you know, we imagine the hatch will open in the glass only because we have a retractable wing. It really sets up the fluid motion from the front to the back and the big shoulders and the really proud stance or stable stance.
Yeah, this is the prettiest view right here because you get to see that rear view mirror. And these are nice as well. I notice those lights are on, so it gives sort of a, rather than the whole thing just lighting up red, you have three, LEDs in there?
Correct, yeah. All the lighting on the car is LED. Yeah, this in fact is my favorite view. I think this is a view that most people will see every day driving behind this.
Right,
hopefully never in front.
Right, yeah, no. Can you run that rear light that low? Or does it have, production would probably have to be here, wouldn't it?
Actually, you know, I think the location is correct. Even on the current FRS, we have a brake light low, on a low position. So yeah, correction, location-wise.
FT-1, what does the FT stand for?
Future Toyota and the One.
Future
V1.
Toyota and the One, okay.
Yeah.
Now see this with that LFA motor, oh my God. That would be just That would be the dream car.
Sign you up.
Because when I went to Japan and I saw them building the LFA and how they weave the carbon fiber and the amount of expertise and handcrafted workmanship, it was so impressive. But the car itself doesn't pop the way, I think when they designed a Japanese one, just a little more subdued, you know? Whereas this really just pops out at you. Yeah, it's a fantastic looking car. Can I sit in it?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you go in, just be careful.
Yep. There we go. Nicely done. Okay. Now, I notice these seem to favor the passenger.
So yeah, the idea in this is that, I mean, you can look down on them, but the angle is meant to give them some sense that there's some passenger favor, but mostly this is all about the driver.
Right.
Yeah, it's the ultimate selfish vehicle. It's meant for you.
That's funny. What do we have here? Chrome or brushed aluminum? What do we
call
have?
It's kind of a black chrome. So in this space, you can see you've got, we call it like the slingshot. This is the slingshot architecture. You're the projectile in this slingshot.
Right.
And everything is within your fingertips. Be it, you know, you have the screen here, you have the dock here,
Okay.
you have the heads-up meter, which actually projects it forward. We did a bunch of research down at Miramar, researching heads-up displays.
Okay. You know, it's a nice sized car inside. It doesn't feel, it looks enormous when you just see it without anything around it, but it's about the size of a Celica or a Supra.
It's you know, generally inside, this is nothing out of the ordinary. We did kind of fun things like with the fuel meter, standalone.
And I noticed the aluminum pedals there, and they're floor hinged.
Yes.
Nicely done.
Yeah,
Labor of love.
Yeah, labor of love. There's a sense of you know, craftsmanship and sculpture throughout the entire car, and you know, we focus on very beautiful curvaceous lines that draw, you know, emotion that makes people want to really just walk around the car and look at it.
Is this the only one there is?
Currently, yes.
Currently, oh, cool. Well, if you guys want to leave it here, it's not.
We were just saying it looks so
It
nice
looks-
in your garage.
It's perfect.
It's a great piece.
Nicely done. Now, folks, I'd like to get your comments on this. In our comment section, tell us what you think of what the guys did here. I think they did a terrific job. And let's get Toyota to build this thing. Look, I like the Corolla, I like the Prius, but we're going to have something with a little... See you next week.
Mm-hmm.